Clear the course!
This is the Clear the Course podcast.
Clear the course!
Your podcast for everything in amateur skateboarding. Brought to you by the crew at California Amateur Skateboard League, a.k.a. Castle. And hopefully soon the Florida Amateur Skateboard League, a.k.a. Fassel.
All right, here we are again. Clear the course, Daryl.
Clear the course!
We are live. This is episode 2. Well, it's not going to be live for you. This is going to be a recorded episode. But I'm Rob. This is my brother, Daryl.
What's up?
Also with us, as usual, our engineer, Dre.
Hey.
And here we are again. This time we're in the actual studio.
Welcome back, fellas.
That's right. Stage 2 allows us to be in the studio. Unfortunately, our guest of today will still be joining us via Skype, but hopefully maybe next month we'll be able to actually get guests in the studio with us, Daryl.
That'd be nice.
That would be nice. So a little bit of Castle news, not too much to report from episode 1. If you watched episode 1, you know that we're still kind of on hold, waiting to see what happens. Still hopeful that we will have our contest in June. Our June contest is at Fontana.
All right.
And stay tuned. Keep your eye on the Castle website, CASLUSF.com. And the calendar is right there on the homepage, and you can get information on when all of our contests are scheduled for the year. And you'll see that some have been canceled, unfortunately.
Fontana North, Fontana South.
I don't know off the top of my head. I think it's Fontana South.
All right.
But either way, check the website and you will know more information. And if you're a Castle member, you will get a flyer in the mail, as usual. As well as we'll post it on Instagram and all that good stuff. But until then, we will just work to continue to bring you some fun content and stuff to listen to and keep you engaged with Castle. Also, an update on Fassel, a.k.a. the Florida Amateur Skateboard League. I talked with Rodney Mead just last week, and nothing yet in Florida. Still kind of playing the same game as we are in California. Sounds like skate parks are starting to open, but...
are they filling them with sand?
They're not doing...
Florida?
No. Only California is going to do that.
That's
Only LA County is going to spend way too much money to fill a skate park with sand. Yeah. I know, and then the skateboarders are going to be the ones that have to clean it out. They're not even going to clean it out. They're just going to leave it until we go and clean it out. But so go ahead and start cleaning them out now. You heard it from Daryl. Daryl said you can.
Run it.
But an update on Florida. As of right now, still kind of in a holding pattern, but we hope to bring you a contest here pretty soon in Florida too. We just can't schedule anything yet because the parks don't know exactly when they're going to be allowed to reopen to crowds. So I think that you're actually able to skate here and there in Florida, but...
Yeah, stay with your arms out.
Yeah, exactly.
6 feet.
You got to have like a barrier around you, and you got to respect people's personal
sumo
space.
suit.
Yeah, the inflatable sumo suit.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe if we put those on, we could have a contest tomorrow.
That would be rad.
I'd watch it.
But yeah, I mean, so they don't know when they can have crowds, and so that's why they're not letting us schedule anything. And unfortunately, in Florida, because this was going to be our first year, we didn't have anything necessarily booked past that first one. So we don't have dates in Florida yet. We have dates. We have a full calendar for California, and we're just picking off month by month as to whether or not we'll be able to return. Also, and maybe I'm allowed to say it and maybe I'm not, but I talked to Woodward this week, and Woodward still plans to hold summer camp this year, kids. It sounds like they're still planning on running. I believe they said starting with week 5 or whatever. So maybe that's July. I'm not sure. Check with Woodward for actual details. But if you're a Castle kid, you should be getting a Woodward discount. So think about that. And even if you're not a Castle kid, you should go to Woodward because it's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it sounds like they're going to be running summer camps.
Got to pay those bills.
Awesome. That'll be way cool for everybody to be able to go to Woodward summer camp. So that is about it on the news front. Hopefully everybody enjoyed episode 1. If you didn't, I'm going to leave we'll leave a link to episode 1 at the end of this, so you can click that hot button up in the top left corner or wherever it's going to be and watch episode 1 with Louis Lopez.
Oh, you got to tell me where the point for the For the link.
I got to tell them where to point. I don't know yet because we don't have it. But maybe by the end of the episode, I'll tell you where.
I always wanted to do one of those.
Yeah. All right, we'll cut you in. Point here.
Yes. Yeah.
But without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in the guest of episode 2 of the Clear the Course podcast,
Clear the course.
Mr. Deville Nunes.
What's up, guys?
How
What
are
up, Deville? Big homie.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Yep. So some of you may know Deville, some of you may not, but Deville is the team manager for Powell Peralta. That's how we got to know Deville, I think. That's how I met you,
Yeah.
coming by Castle. Is that how you met him, Daryl?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But fill us in. Give us an idea. What have you been up to throughout this whole staying at home stuff?
I collected a bunch of footage because our filmer got hurt a while ago. So I've been editing and making YouTube videos, kind of just raw edits, just their slams, their falls. And since we've been on vacation for so long, I got a year's worth ahead now. So
Nice.
I'm jonesing to get back out. I've already gone back out twice with the boys.
Oh, okay. That's good. So you guys are going back out now?
Yeah, there's still a couple of guys that can't go out. Either their parents have something where, it's too sketchy for them to go out. But most of the boys are coming out.
Okay.
Nice.
So we're going back out Sunday, so in 2 days.
Sick. You were sick, yo, right?
I did, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah,
Yeah. So how was that?
it was so fun.
Yeah, I can imagine.
A week of flu symptoms, sleeping, didn't watch TV, nothing, just in bed.
Yeah.
Tired, miserable. About a month of breathing problems.
Wow.
I already have asthma, so it kind
Okay.
of escalated it. And then another week of in bed, watching TV, and then just another week of just being weak.
So like
Jeez.
6 weeks, basically.
No, 3 weeks.
Oh, 3 weeks. Okay.
Yeah, one, and then it's been 3 to 4 weeks. I still don't have my smell back.
Really?
Wow.
That's
Wow.
kind of weird.
I bet that is.
Crazy.
So no hospital or anything, though.
No, I
That's
Skyped
good.
with the doctor, so that was kind of weird.
Oh, really? Did he tell you? Were you like taking your temperature and like showing him or anything like that? How does that
I
work?
couldn't get a thermometer, so
Okay.
I downloaded an app, and I'd actually downloaded 2 apps, and they kept telling me different readings. So I would try to tell the doctor what my temperature was, but I didn't know.
Wow.
Oh, dude.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Dude.
People are saying that it doesn't exist. They're like, it's fake, bro. It's
It's a
not
hoax."
fake. Like, I know people that had it.
Yeah.
It's real. Keep your ass in the house.
Yeah. Wow.
Wear a mask. 6
Joe
feet.
Krolik had it as well, and
Damn.
a couple other people, yeah.
Okay. Crazy.
Well, dude, I'm glad that you're better.
So-
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Crazy. So wow. So
It's
how
real.
did you give us a little brief history of like your life in skateboarding? When did you start? How did you come into all of this, and how did you end up eventually being the team manager? Like, what have you done in skateboarding? Kind of take us through it. Not every.
Started skating at 12.
Okay.
Moved to England, skated a bunch there.
Dope.
Would skate contests there. Came back, skating contests in New Jersey. Hung out with like Chris Cole and those guys. Started shooting him. Had 2 interviews with him. In Big Brother, one in Big Brother, one in Strength. Was getting boards from like Five Borough and Brooklyn Boards and some other people. Went on a couple of trips with Five Borough, started to shoot photos and document that. And then as soon as I was done with college, I moved out to California, shooting photos in California for 2 years before I got the job at PAL. Applied at PAL, didn't get it. Applied again a year later when TM quit and got it, and I've been there for the last 15 years.
Wow. Okay.
On that 5 borough trip, are you there as a photographer, videographer?
I was, yeah. I went to Japan. I went to England with them.
Nice.
Both times it was to shoot.
Okay.
When like Aaron Susky and Dan Pencil, Anthony Shetler.
Yes.
Those guys were on. Westgate was still low trash.
How'd you get into photography? Just something you wanted to pursue as a kid, or?
Yeah, and because I was hanging out with that crowd. Actually, Krolik was shooting video, and then he was talking to Ryan G. Got everything that Ryan G had. He got like a settlement for getting in a car crash. He was able to get a bunch of stuff.
Wow.
Started shooting photos, and then showed me how to do it. And then, yeah, from there it was like, well, I'm not going to become a pro skater, so let's start shooting photos and live vicariously through them.
Okay. Cool. Nice. Got to go on some trips, got to take pictures. So you had pictures in mags too. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was nice. Get paid a little bit, and I mean that's how I got the job at Powell's, because I shot photos. At the time, 15 years ago, it wasn't about video, it was about photos.
Right.
They wanted somebody to shoot photos, shoot their ads, get their guys in the magazines for the advertisement.
That's where I remember seeing your name first is photo credits. Like before the Powell team manager, I remember seeing Deville in photo credits, and I just thought it was a badass name. Like,
yeah.
I was like, so it stuck out, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks.
Yeah, hell yeah. And they're dope ass photos.
Is there like one photo that you think of that's like your proudest moment in a magazine or anything like that?
I don't know. There's a Donger photo, an Ollie photo. That was like one of my first published photos.
Okay. What magazine was that in?
It was in Skateboarder. So I was interning at Big Brother. I had all these photos, and I showed it to Rick Cossack. He kind of paged through it. I was like, yeah, whatever. So I walked across the street when I was interning at Big Brother. It was on Wilshire. So I walked across the street to Skateboarder, and Ballard and Jamie Owens. Jamie Owens was an intern, and Ballard was the photo editor. Jamie Owens was the Trans World editor, right, for a long time, and Skateboarder editor. But I went over to Ballard, showed him the photos, and he gave me like a brick of photos. Took a couple, published them. Nice. And then sent me on my way with film, so I was pretty stoked on that.
Hell yeah.
So, what was it like interning at Big Brother?
It was right when they started Jackass. Like,
okay,
shit.
Yeah. So that was already Larry Flint Publications.
It was in the Larry Flint building.
Yeah, on Wilshire.
Yeah, and I was friends with Norocco, so I just hit him up to intern. It's really too much. It was basically kind of fake, just like, yeah, come hang out and give me, college credits.
Nice.
Well, that was the whole idea going into it, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Unpaid internship.
Yeah, hell yeah.
In the hopes to be able to shoot for Big Brother.
Yeah.
And you got college credit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. And you got to be a part of Big Brother, which, if you kids don't know about Big Brother, you should.
Watch the documentary.
Yeah, watch the documentary.
Do your research.
Yeah.
That was one of the best magazines of all time, for sure.
Hell
Yep.
They're filming another Jackass right now.
That's what I heard. That's going to be crazy. I mean, those guys are crazy because they're old now, too, and like they're going to try and go just as hard.
Somebody's going to die.
Well, somebody did die. Ryan Dunn.
Oh.
I think Jaws was on it. He broke something.
Jaws did?
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Broke something.
Somebody's going to break something.
We're going to watch it.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to watch it.
Yeah.
Hopefully they put it in the movie theaters if we ever get to go back to movie theaters. Because
Yeah.
I'll go for sure.
Overrated.
So, 15 years as the Powell TM?
I think so. 15, 16 years. Yeah.
Very cool. So, what is what do you do as a team manager? Like, what are your responsibilities? What does your job description say if we were to look at it?
It started out shooting photos. It transitioned into photos. I laid out the ads for a while. Managing, finding the teams. Found a bunch at Castle.
Yeah.
Organizing trips. And now it's transitioned into shooting video, Instagram, soon to be TikTok.
All that social media madness.
All the social media fun stuff,
Dude, it's so tedious.
posting on there, who knows how, you know. Now it's mostly filming. You know, once this lets up, we were supposed to go to the YMCA camp, Visalia one.
Okay.
It used to be camp, and now it changed back to YMCA camp. Organizing trips, editing, finding riders. Right now we have a ton of riders, so we've kind of been backing off of finding riders and more concentrating on them.
Yeah, you have a pretty stacked crew, because I watch, like Cole was, heavily involved with Castle. Same with Greg, and I follow both those guys on Instagram, and so I watch like a lot of your crew going out pretty regularly, and obviously I follow Powell too. But you seem to have a pretty scrappy little crew right now.
Rippers,
there's some really good kids on that crew.
Squad is solid.
Yeah,
and they look like they're having a good time.
Yep.
Like it looks like.
I think so. They get to skate, free food and gas all day.
Yeah. And they look like they're pretty like, it looks like they're a pretty happy team, as far as like they all look like they're friends and stuff. You know what I mean? Like it seems like the team atmosphere seems to be there.
Yeah, they're all getting along. There's not really any fights. Maybe one or two of them got with each other's girlfriends or something, you know.
That's got to be pretty nice, though. I mean, so, falling into like the team manager role for a company like Powell Peralta, like, I mean, and if you look at the history of Powell Peralta, those are kind of some pretty big shoes to fill. Do you feel that, or did you feel that in the beginning? Like, given like the Bones Brigade and all this stuff, like the history that's there with the Powell team, I mean, how do they put pressure on you to be that kind of team, or is it kind of up to you?
No, it's completely the opposite.
Really?
It's like, yeah, it's so mellow. No pressure.
Very cool.
I mean, sure, like, hey, what photos do you have for an ad this month? So I am shooting photos and videos at the same time. Sometimes it's only me documenting. That might be the biggest pressure.
Okay.
Finding guys. No, it's not like, oh, you need to find like the craziest team. It's almost cooler sometimes when we have guys that are just more relatable, instead of like the Nijas where like kids can't get to that level.
Right. So
like certain kids can see like, oh, they 50 to rail, or they board slid it. Like I can do that,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not like the pressure that you would think.
Cool. Seems like you guys are having fun. Are you driving the van?
It's my car.
It's your car.
Well, yeah.
What van?
Yes.
Independent
On trips, me and
contractor.
Micaiah drive the van, but around town in LA, we're all just kind of meeting up and
getting it.
So pre-pandemic, or even now, like how often do you meet up with the team? Is it like, do you guys try to go out like a couple times a week, or do you have a set schedule, or?
Yeah, it's usually weekends, one day during the week. So I try to do Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday.
Okay.
Kind of getting back into that swing right now. Slowly,
Yeah.
A little bit more mellow. If I take them out more than 2-3 times a week, like it's over. Like they're either broken,
They're burnt.
they're mad at me, I'm mad at them, whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just it's too much. Like you can't, because some of them will skate at the level, and you can't do that all the time. You have to rest and
Yeah.
keep getting broke off. Like, yeah, maybe Andy Anderson can do it.
Dude, he's so fun to watch.
Yeah.
You should see the new stuff he's been doing. It's insane.
Yeah.
When are we gonna see it? How soon do we get to see it?
He just grinded a 30 stair rail, and then he Smith grinded the rail that Frankie Hill. They only show half of it in public domain.
Okay.
With the kink in Long Beach.
Yeah.
So he did that. He did that in the rain.
Wow.
Or no, it was wet, not the rain. Yeah. So
with
he's done like
rails.
these crazy things, but then like he's doing like Go Miyagi. You know Go Miyagi?
Go Miyagi. What is that?
You guys don't know who Go Miyagi is?
No.
You guys need to watch Go Miyagi. Go Miyagi.
Dre, pull up, don't mind.
Yes.
This like Japanese kid that you can't even see this stuff on Instagram, but I think it'll be on YouTube. It just skates the craziest, weirdest rails.
Like some ninja type stuff?
like flat bar, like a lot of flat bar stuff. Really, you guys don't know? That's
I mean,
so sick.
maybe
You
I've
guys-
seen it
you guys
before.
love seeing his
I
stuff.
had to have seen it. We had
Yeah.
to have seen it, but maybe I just don't know
Dre's
if that's his
pulling one
name.
up right now. On
Like some ninja
He
type
was on
balance
He was on heroin, but the stuff you want to watch is before the heroin days.
before the heroin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I'm familiar with this
Yeah,
dude
okay,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw this on the screen for a
Throw it on
second.
the screen. It is funny.
Courtesy of YouTube and the Thrasher YouTube channel.
Yeah, Thrasher YouTube.
Yeah, stuff like that, but the stuff you want to see is before heroin when he's skating all the crazy rails.
Yeah, see, this is the stuff that I remember when he was
Yeah.
on heroin.
Okay, before heroin, it's really like
It's way
that's
clean-
when like
it's
he's
cleaner?
Jewish.
Okay, okay. So
That's
so
awesome.
Andy's doing stuff like he's on heroin.
I don't think that's what he's trying to say.
I mean that's
Daryl.
not what we're trying to say. But
And he's crazy.
yeah, he's crazy, but super cool. Cool dude.
Yeah, he's down here for a little bit, another week, and then he has to go back because of his insurance.
Oh,
Okay.
to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He has that ambulance converted.
Right now he's got a car. I think the ambulance is up north. It kept breaking down.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
That-
you
that
guys
thing
should
is
take that
cool.
on the
Dude, I would
on a
love
trip. That would be rad. Roll up to a spot. So what kind of spots do you guys like to hit? Most of the stuff I see is like obviously it's street. Do you guys start at a park and warm up a little bit, or do you just do you have a plan going into it? Like, do you have a set number of spots you're going to take them to that day? How do you approach a day?
Usually, the most you can go to is about 4 if they're. So I'll try to line up more than that in case we get kicked out.
Okay.
I use that Skate Spot app, LA, Skate Spots LA, skatespots.la. Not the one that you can use on your phone. You kind of have to use it on a computer.
Oh.
Okay.
It's like $15 to use, and if you're trying to have a pro career, it's worth getting.
Yeah, totally.
But I'll plan the days around that. Otherwise, I mean, from going to so many spots, each of the guys kind of know what they want to do.
Sure.
So they'll kind of sometimes lead me as well.
Right.
But yeah, it's pretty like, hey, let's meet here. We get food, and then sometimes we'll go to a warm up spot at the beginning.
Yeah.
You're pretty infamous for making dudes jump down big stuff.
That was because I would only get paid if I got in the front.
I mean, this is just what I know. Like, oh yeah, Deville, he's gonna make you jump down some
Yeah,
big shit.
Deville's going to make you break yourself. That's what Daryl told
You
me.
gonna get
I
broke.
went to Burnett's house once, and I gave him, I think Justin Figueroa's. I gave him some photos, and he's like, I don't know what to do with this. He's like, we're just gonna start something new. It's gonna be called the Lunatic Fringe. It'll be for like AMs that like are doing crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And so they've been doing that ever since, for like the last.
Yeah, hell yeah. A little bit of history. That's
Nice.
where it started.
Yeah.
So how did you find out about Castle?
I was looking for contests that kids would go to, so I could scout for kids, and that's why I would go to cancel contests.
Okay. Is that
And
kind
so I
of
would come and obviously met Daryl, hit him up and be like, who's ripping?
yeah.
You know, that's how like I found Louis Lopez there, because he was just he was so tiny. He had like long hair,
Yes.
and he was just kick flipping everywhere. You know, he was like just the next kid. I was like, yeah. Same with Boo Johnson, and you know what Isaiah Johnson is?
Isaiah, yeah, his brother. So
So
Isaiah was the Ripper.
Isaiah was better than Boo
Yup.
and had style.
Yep.
So I hooked up Isaiah on PAL and put Boo on Mini Logo.
Yep. I remember that's my first memory of talking to you about Castle Kids. It was at the Montebello Park. And
Mhm.
I actually wanted to show you Chris and Pierce Brunner. They were skating it at the same time, twins. And
I hooked them too.
yep, and I was like, I like those kids. They're killing it. But like Isaiah and Boo were killing it as well. And you were like, yeah, like tell their mom, whatever. And the mom, they were getting boards from like Half Pint or something like that. And the mom was like, well, what's the difference? I don't know. Like they're already, look, why do they need these boards? They're already getting boards from these guys. And I'm like, trust, just call this dude. It'll change your life.
I wonder what they do now. I don't see anything.
Isaiah plays sports.
Well, Isaiah is like a basketball. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
He had the best
What
style.
about the Brunners?
oh, the Brunners.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know. Like they rip, dude, and I would see them here and there, but I don't know. We need to find out what's up with them. They were killing it.
Yep.
I hope they're still skating.
They got to be still skating.
Yeah, what's up, Chris and Pierce?
Yeah. Send us
Props.
a clip or two.
Yeah,
We'll
say
share
what's
it
up.
on the gram. Right on. So how often do you go to Castle contests? I think I saw you at like 2 or 3 last year, maybe. What are you? I mean, I guess it depends on how many, how your team's looking, right?
Yeah, it would depend. Right now, I'm kind of looking for, more pros.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a lot of AMs that we're working with, a lot of legends.
Yeah.
So now it's more of if the right guy came along, we would do it. But I'm not really going out looking for like AMs or like flow guys.
Just developing the squad that you got.
Yeah.
Squad's solid.
So having fun with them.
Yeah.
And who are the pros on the PAL team right now? Run everybody through that, just so everybody recognizes.
Shit.
Yeah,
On
pop
the
quiz.
Don't
Can I
forget
look it
anybody.
Oh shit. He's like, let me pull it up right quick.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to forget one guy, or he's
let
gonna
me
get
pull up the
blasted.
team
I
list.
can't believe you forgot me.
Well, that's because you're about to get
All right,
cut. He's like,
There's
as
a lot-
of right now.
there's a lot of guys. There's like 32. So there's
Damn.
Cab, Mike McGill, Kevin Harris,
Yes, Kevin
Kevin
Harris.
Nicky Guerrero, and Frankie Hill.
Nicky Guerrero.
Frankie Hill's still on the team. Are we going to see some Frankie Hill footage anytime soon?
On his Instagram, sometimes he posts.
Yeah,
Frankie
I've
was
seen a
doing
little
his
bit on
own
his
boards for a
Instagram.
while. He was doing his reissue graphics and whatnot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we still make that original board that we.
Yeah.
So-
I remember Frankie skating the bug board.
And then so the Frankie Hill board was the first board I saw that was like the new shape. Was my buddy got like not the first Frankie Hill, because that was like a wider board, but then like the second one was like the new shape, like skinnier boards. Like that was right when the sea change happened with like skinny boards, little wheels, big pants, little wheels basically came on, because he got that Frankie Hill board, and then I bought an Eric Ricks board.
Yeah. What's up, Riggs?
Yep.
Who did
one
Eric
with
Ricks ride for? A Street?
No, that was Powell too, I think,
Nah,
wasn't it?
Yeah, Pow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like the jungle
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah, the homie Crown did
And
that
I think,
graphic. What's
yeah,
up, Crown?
and it was it was an Everslick or whatever it was.
Yo,
Yeah,
so,
Everslicks,
like,
right?
Yeah, they stole those graphics out of Crown's Black Book.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Riggs took Crown's Black Book and got his graphics out of there, and I don't know if Crown ever got paid for any of that. He still talks
Crown.
about it. He's kind of salty. What's up, Crown?
So,
But yeah,
Parks and Rec Crown. But yeah, that's it was an Everslick board. That's the only Everslick board I ever owned, I think. I think they
really? I had
faded.
a bunch.
I
I
think
love them.
Yeah, they were kind of cool. I liked them, but I think that was the only one. Maybe I had one more after that. I'm not sure. And then I just went back to regular wood. Okay, so back to who's on the team now. So you
Yeah.
basically gave us the legends, right?
Those are the legends. So the pros are, well, you got veterans too, George Santoni.
oh okay.
And then,
Italy.
yep, Italy.
Yeah.
They got hard. Brad McLean, Charlie Blair, Ben Hatchell, Scott Pacenzo. Those are some of the pros. And then we even have longboarder pros. Like
What?
Kevin Rarmer is like I guess the fastest guy.
Really?
Um,
Okay.
Ryan Esser, JD Durham, 2 freestylers, Killian Martin
Sick.
and Isumu. I don't really deal with those guys,
Yeah,
but
like,
they're on. So like George will put on certain guys, you know. That
Can-
he put on Andy Anderson. I was like, hell no, and now he's like my favorite. He's like,
Why hell no? Why hell no?
the helmet. He's kooky, and like,
Yeah.
and like once you meet him and talk to him, he's like, whoa, this guy's awesome.
he is
That's
awesome,
funny.
but it is like yeah, I see that.
He's doing his own
rad, dude.
Yeah, we talked about it. I told him
That's
like,
the funniest shit ever.
you know, he'll stay at my house and we'll bullshit about it.
That's tight.
That's funny.
Yeah. And then Kiko, Francisco, Lance Wilschke, Hollywood Martinez, John Bradford, Ricky Chavez, Ray Corey, Michael Furukawa, Micaiah Furukawa, Donnie Hickson, Kevin Hoffler,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Vincent
good.
Luvinus, Brody Pinrod, Cole Pereira,
Yeah.
Greg Rodriguez, Spencer Samian, and Landon Belcher.
That's what's up.
It's a stack squad.
Stacked.
Yep.
Shout out the homies.
Yep. For real. What up, Cole?
There's a bunch of
hear
people.
What up, Greg?
you. Yep. We see you. We follow you. Castle still follows you.
Castle kids.
Cool. So what are you like? What are you looking for when you come to Castle? When you're scouting talent.
Looking for the best one there.
Okay. And you know it when you see it. I mean, that's the thing. Like,
They stick out.
Yeah,
pretty
we
hard.
know when we
all
see.
know it.
Yeah. I think like Tony Hawk was just on Joe Rogan and he was
That's
talking about
good.
like how subjective like judging is. And then he even said, he was like, yeah, but the reality is when you watch a contest as skaters, like, you know, for the most part who won it, or at least who the top like 2 or 3 are.
Yeah,
like they
totally.
stick out. You can tell.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
They do. Yeah, you'll definitely see it. They'll definitely stick out.
Yep. And
You're
then
like, oh.
and then what? You just tell Daryl like, hey, talk to their parents for me.
What does that grooming process look like? I mean, like from
At first, just give them boards. Like, tell them not to worry. Like, don't. You know, you don't have to. There's no obligation. Just go skate. You
Yeah.
know? You can see it all on their Instagram, or you know, if they start sending footage, if their Instagram or like they're sending you crazy footage, then it's time to like, hey, come and skate with the guys.
Right.
See if you get along. See if you want to skate. See if you even want to do this.
Yeah.
see if we can stand you in the van
See if you can. skate.
Yeah.
or your car, as the case may be.
It's pretty rare that there's a kid you can't stand it.
That's
That's funny.
funny. Yeah, I guess the one thing we should probably get into is what it means to be sponsored, because this is a debate. This sparked heavy debate amongst parents earlier this year,
I mean, as it has for
as it has for every year. But
Yes,
it's like every few years it flares up because certain like parents have a different idea of what equals sponsored or doesn't equal sponsored, and then kids either get forced into skating in the sponsored category or they don't. So what do you think equals being a sponsored skateboarder, in your opinion, as a team manager?
Not for Castle, just for
Yeah.
regular.
Yeah, we'll start there. Like, in general, what does it mean to be sponsored? Like, what do you think?
versus flow or what? Yeah.
Right. Like,
What does that
on the
what
team,
does that
or
even
you're
mean?
just getting free
What
stuff.
does that even mean?
Yeah.
Not like you're getting boards from your shop or the shop's giving you a discount. It's you're talking to the team manager. You're able to call him. You're able to go skate. Send him a video saying, "Hey, I want to go shoot this. Hey, would this be good enough for an ad? Hey, I'm working hard." You know, that it basically that. You know, you have direct access to the team manager. You're able to start going out with them. They're concentrating on you to try to fill the part and move forward.
Is there some conversation between you and the rider to say officially, you can tell your friends or you could tell your parents that you're
or
sponsored,
put it on your
or
Instagram.
put it on your Instagram, or put it
think
on
it's-
whatever, is there a conversation where this is official, or is it, how does that work? Because you got a gang of kids that are like, I'm sponsored, and then it comes back to bite them in the ass.
Right.
So it's been different it's definitely different for every company.
Mm-hmm.
For us right now, it's been they've been coming out skating with the group, and I've let them know, like, hey, if we get something good enough that can be a PAL ad, then you're AM, because I can't just put you in the magazine and give you an ad. Damn.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, so to be an AM on PAL, you got to get an ad in a magazine or something like that. An ad.
Yeah, that's how we've been doing it for the last couple of years. Before, when it was different, the fun days, it was like, hey, you need to get 6 photos in a magazine to turn AM, and then we'll turn you AM and do a lot more for you.
Right.
So it was definitely 6 photos by anybody, not by Powell. It could be anybody if they get like contest placing, or if they have other sponsors, say like if they have another sponsor,
sure,
they get like some whatever, like 6.
Or they got a sequence shot in like a spot check. Or
whatever. Or if they sent in a bunch of photos to the photo graffiti.
I don't think that's poser of the month.
It was a little easier because you had trans world checkout, skateboarder checkout. You had a slap thing. You could do, if they were that good, they would have a lunatic fringe. So there's 2 photos right there. There was just more magazines. Now there's only 1.
Right. Yeah. That's. I mean, there you had like a few magazines, and they were actively going out and shooting spots and covering, kids doing regular articles on people, or like spotlights where they'd pick 5 guys or whatever.
Yeah.
What about like if they get featured in somebody's YouTube video or something like that? Does that help? Like
back then, no.
Or,
now,
I mean, now, yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's completely different.
Yeah.
Depending on the company. You're either stoked that they're going out with the YouTubers, or you want them to film parts for Thrasher.
Right.
Or
Barracks.
Does it matter how many Instagram followers they have?
It definitely helps.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because it shows like what kind of engagement and following that they're getting.
Now, do you have like when you first tell a kid like, hey, here's a couple boards, go have fun. And then that kid decides to go to his Instagram account and immediately put that he's sponsored by Powell. Can that raise issues? Or do you have that conversation with him ahead of time, or is it just like whatever?
We wouldn't care.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, run it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're getting boards, you're pretty much sure you're sponsored,
Yeah. So that's where it becomes a weird issue in Castle. Because what happens is they get a few free boards and they want to say I'm sponsored, which I understand completely. But they're like, they might be like 9 or 10 years old. And then immediately other parents are like, I knew that kid was sponsored. Why is he skating in the age category still? Like, he needs to be skating with the sponsored skateboarders. So now they're like trying to force an 8-year-old to go skate with 15-year-olds. And like, it just becomes one of those things that we just, we take it, I guess, on a case-by-case basis.
Yes. I mean, but it's completely understandable. I mean, from like the marketing standpoint, why would they tell a kid not to be promoting the brand?
Course, no, they wouldn't.
But then obviously there's some conflict when the kid is trying to say like they're an amateur and they're not sponsored.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, that's
it becomes weird. We get like people DMing the Castle Instagram.
Yes, the kids aren't responsible. The kids aren't responsible enough to take all of that into consideration and be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't say this, that, and the other because it could blow it for this later. They're just like, fuck it, I got free boards.
Yeah, I want to tell everybody I'm sponsored.
I'm telling everyone I'm sponsored.
Yep, exactly.
Yes.
Which I guess, like you said, kind of are.
Yeah.
What do we do? I mean, we take it on a case-by-case basis. It's it's one of those things. Like I have a hard time forcing like a kid that's like a kid that's in between the ages of like 6 to 9, right? Like I have a hard time telling that kid that he has to go skate in the sponsored category because our sponsored category is all ages. So now he's got to go skate against kids that are like, they've already gone through puberty. Like they're like, for all intents and purposes, like young men, and they're they have different bodies than like these little kids. So it's
ripping.
It's a different game. Like I can't force this kid to go, and so we have the conversation with the parents and we kind of try and figure out what's the best route for this kid. It's a weird deal. I mean, it's a conversation we have all the time with different parents and different kids and stuff. I mean, we had Louis on episode 1, and Louis mentioned he was basically forced into the sponsor category at age 8 or something, like
7.
8 or he was just about to turn 8.
Yeah.
So but he was so good that but Louis had the mentality of like he didn't care. It was on, like he wanted to. He embraced it, and if they're at a level that they can embrace it and understand that they're going to lose for a little while, then it's all good. But my worry is that like a kid that's really loves skateboarding and is really good, all of a sudden gets thrown to the wolves and has to skate against a bunch of young men and loses over and over again, and then just like loses his love for the whole thing, like gets burnt out real quick. So it's kind of one of those things you have to take it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, we don't know the answer. We're still trying to figure it out like everybody else.
That is one of the reasons why I wanted to have this conversation with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, because you got these kids that are just rising to the level of their competition. They're starting to win. And then they're immediately getting hated on for winning, for working hard, for reaching that top spot. And then now everyone under them is like, you're too good. Get out of this group. You belong in this other group where you're guaranteed to lose. And you're going to be losing for a minute.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and at the same time, I think there's and I can still see the point of the parent that like just brought their kid to Castle. Maybe he's only been skating like a year or two and he's losing because they see these other kids in their age category that are well beyond their level of, but that's how competition works. Like you're not just going to walk in one day and win a contest unless like you've been skating for a while and know kind of what you're doing. So losing is just as much of part of this thing as winning is. So I don't know. We don't know the answer, so we want you to give us the answer so that we can take whatever you say. We'll just adhere.
What should we do, Deville?
Not like the right thing. It's just case by case basis.
Yeah.
You'll be able to tell, like, can Louis Lopez compete in that sponsored category? At the time, could he?
Yeah.
I think he said that he, for like the first year or so, he lost.
Yeah.
And then he started, placing.
Yeah. I mean, Big Lou was saying just soak it up.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to lose in the beginning, but you're going to be learning new tricks, take what you can get from it, and just keep it pushing, which is, I guess the best thing that you could do. I mean, but like you were saying, it depends on the company. So you have these companies that are taking advantage of the cuteness of these little kids and their marketability, and they're sending them stuff and they're putting them in ads, and the kids aren't really that good. They have a couple of tricks. They're just cutesy, and they're sponsored. And now all of a sudden they're supposed to skate in the sponsored division because they come out in some ads. When in reality, it's that company who we could sell a lot of boards to ages 6, 7, and 8. So we need to get like a 6-year-old or a 7-year-old that we can really, put pictures of up so that other kids go, oh, if he skates for this company, I should skate for this company. We should buy those boards because that kid that's my age also skates for them already. Like, I feel like some of those decisions are made in the marketing department and not in the, Yeah, so is that kid sponsored? I mean, is he supposed to skate with the big kids? You know what I mean? This is the conversation that we're having.
That sounds like more like they're just getting boards. But if they say they're sponsored, like, I don't think the company's going to yell at them.
Yeah, the company's never going to care because the company loves the fact that they're, promoting the
And what if it's not boards? What if it's another product? What if it's hats, T-shirts? What if it's socks? Are they supposed? I mean, where do you draw the line? Like how?
Right.
How much merch does it require to be sponsored?
Yes.
Right.
Exactly. Like, what if I have an eyeglass lanyard sponsor as a little kid? And I'm like, all right, you're sponsored.
Well, what about when Scotty did the movie. What movie did Scotty do?
Oh, MVP2.
MVP2. So did Scotty become sponsored by Hollywood
He's
because he
sponsored
was
by
in
Hollywood.
A,
well,
he's in a feature film?
He's a card-carrying SAG member.
Yeah.
I mean.
So, I mean, yeah. So he had to skate, I guess, put him in sponsored too because he was in a movie.
Yeah, I mean, where do you draw the line?
Right. So.
I don't know. What do you think, Deville? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. It is what it is.
So, yeah.
If he can skate in the sponsored division or if he's just going to, it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
If he's got lanyard sponsored,
But the conversation is not with that kid or that kid's parents. It's with the other parents who are hating on that kid. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, there's no right answer that we'll ever probably come to. We're just gonna have to keep taking it case by case.
Yeah,
and
just chill
remind everybody not to
out.
take this whole thing too seriously because it's just Castle.
Seriously,
you're not in the Olympics yet. You're
For
in.
real.
You're in.
The Olympics are canceled.
Yeah.
For at least a year, huh?
Yeah, even that whole Olympics thing is crazy. I mean, just from what Louis was talking about, the whole process of being chosen to be on the team versus actually competing.
Yeah, you still have to qualify.
Yes, and all of that.
Yeah.
You guys should talk to Neil Mims about it. It's pretty crazy. Neil Mims?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. We need to have more conversations with the people that are, organizing this because I think all of competitive skateboarding kind of needs to come together and get on the same page with regards to all this stuff. I think if there's a chance to become an Olympian at this point, I mean, it could be in the Olympics one time and then they decide it's not an Olympic sport or whatever. But if there is, then in some ways I think skateboarding probably needs to take that step to be a little more organized. Like if you're a 4-year-old kid that's interested in gymnastics and and you say I want to be an Olympian, they can lay it out for you right then and there. Okay, here's exactly what you need to do to become an Olympian. Here's how you're going to be judged. Here's exactly how you need to progress. Here's the contest series and whatnot that you're going to have to go through to be an Olympian. Here's the path. If you want to be an Olympian, here it is. Right? Swimming, track, whatever. It's all set, right?
Right.
Regular Olympic sports, it's all there. And skateboarding, who knows? It's kind of we're not even necessarily all judging the same at this point. So we need to maybe that's some of the stuff that'll come out of this. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But if there's a playbook for judging the Olympic style, then maybe the rest of us need to take a look at that playbook and more or less judge accordingly. I don't know if we'll have to change up our judging or not. We'll have to see. It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be hard.
Yeah, it is. They should just take the Castle formula for judging, and then everybody should just adhere to our formula. It's the easiest.
What's the Castle formula?
So the Castle formula is basically we start you off with a base score. We start you off with a base score of 70, and then for every trick that you land, you get a point. And every different trick, we'll say. So, if you did 10 kick flips in a row, on flat or whatever, that would count as 1 point. But if you did 10 kickflips on different things, like a kickflip off over a gap, a kickflip onto a manual pad, a kickflip to 50-50, those are all going to be separate points, right? So, how many different tricks can you land in the amount of time that you have allotted? And then beyond that, if the judge sees a trick that is a particularly higher level of difficulty, he could give that trick 2 points or 3 points based on what he sees.
If the trick makes you say "damn," then that's worth 2 points.
Give it 2 points,
maybe even 3 points, depending on how long you hold it or whatever.
And if the run was flawless, then maybe you add an extra point on top of that, and then that basically just adds up to getting somewhere in the neighborhood of, I don't know, anywhere from 70 something to 90.
Yeah.
Every once in a while we'll get a 90. But that's our basic formula, and it seems to work pretty well. I mean, especially given the fact that for the most part, we're not dealing with super high level of difficulty like you would. Like when you watch Street League, I mean, the level of difficulty of the tricks that they're executing is different, right? Like, so, they have to maybe think about that, or they have to think about style and flow as well. I don't know exactly what their formula is. But for us, I mean, for the most part, kids are doing more or less the same tricks, and it's just how many can you execute in the time.
Whoever lands the most tricks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Whoever lands
different
the
tricks.
most tricks, different tricks.
Yeah.
Like, you're winning it.
And then we have a standout for best trick. So if you land one trick that, like, we'll pick one trick out of every heat or whatever that we'll give, like, the best trick to. The one thing that, and that's a completely, that's subjective to the minds of the judges, because we'll have kids argue about that one. Like, well, my trick was way harder. How could he get best trick? And it's like, well, it's what the judges feel like was their favorite trick throughout that whole thing.
Sometimes it's difficulty. Sometimes it's creativity.
Sometimes it's going big,
Yeah,
death-defying.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever stokes the judges out.
Right.
In that moment.
Right.
But
And
that caters to the kid that just has that banger in mind.
Right.
Like, I got this trick, it's sick, I'm gonna get it out. Like, that's cool,
Yeah, and it's not figured into your place that within that heat. It's separate. Although it will add to your points in the end of the year ranking, but not by much. I mean, you couldn't win a season by having best trick every time and not placing or anything like that. So,
but you could go to the best trick contest.
But you can go to the best trick contest, which is one of my favorite contests.
Yeah,
honestly,
they get a special invite. If you win a best trick medal during the year, you get a special invite to. We have a best trick contest at Woodward. So
only those kids can go.
Well, no, it's they get to enter it for free. Everybody else has to pay.
They get to enter the best trick contest that day for free. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's
a golden ticket.
Yeah.
Whatever
it's a golden ticket to the best trick contest.
The Pal Peralta best trick contest.
That's right. It is the Pal Peralta best trick contest, actually. And the Pal Peralta Game of Skate.
Pal Peralta Game of Skate.
Which is held every single time.
Every single contest.
That's Daryl's favorite part. Where are we doing Game of Skate? When are we fitting that in?
I love it.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's funny. I love it.
The Game of Skate gets competitive.
It does. Sometimes it drags on.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's cool. They're good.
It's a game of skate.
It can
drag. Yeah, it can drag on.
What's that?
Do all the kids start at once to do the game of skate?
So it's one do all do. Every kid has to do the same trick, but if your trick comes back around to you and nobody gets a letter, then you get the letter and you miss your turn.
Right. So you can't be like sandbagging and doing, easy tricks.
Yes. So it keeps kids from doing easy tricks because then we'll be there forever. So like you got to step it up. Yeah. The kids are like, they're so surprised by that. I don't know why that's just not a normal rule.
Yeah.
That should just be part of the rules as far as I'm concerned. They're like, what? That's genius. What do you mean? You should always play like that.
That's pretty good. Next time I play skate, I'm going to do that.
Dude, yeah, totally.
Yeah. It's good. And it keeps, like you said, it keeps it from dragging on. Plus, that's kind of how it should be, I feel.
Yeah.
So, it's fun.
Cool.
Powell's been sponsoring the game of skate for as long as I've been judging, I feel. I don't know. I mean, for 5-10 years, easy, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe more.
How long have you guys been there?
What's that?
How long have you guys been there?
So, Daryl...
I've been there since, like, 99.
Yeah.
Around there. Yeah.
And I think I judged... The first contest I judged, and that was my introduction to Castle, was 2005. 2004 or 2005. Scheckler, Pudwell, Austin Seaholm. I remember all three were skating that contest. So that was like, actually, I don't know if it was Daryl that invited me or if it was our friend Jeff, but somebody invited me like, hey, we need a judge. Can you come down and judge? And then I started like, that's how I fell into it. I started judging contests, mostly the Orange County ones. I didn't feel like traveling to Simi Valley or anything at that time. And then with my company in large media, we started helping Sonia out. We started designing her flyers we built the Castle website, and then just as time went on, Sonia just kept giving more responsibility to me and Daryl till we turned around and we were basically running the thing.
Yeah.
So
Here we are. We're running it.
yep.
How long has she been doing it?
40 years. Well, so the league has been 39 years. 1981 is when the league was founded, and Sonia's basically been involved from the beginning. We actually did an episode with Sonia, but it wasn't complete. We're going to have to do a second part to that, and then we'll release that episode. So that is either going to be episode 0, or we'll just line it into like episode whatever number it is once we get back on the line with Sonia.
Because she's stuck. She's stuck at her place. We were supposed to have her in studio, but she's locked down, quarantine, so we were only able, and she's not going to be able to figure out Skype.
Yeah.
So we were only able to do a phone call with her, and she was over it quick.
Yeah. Yeah, she got tired.
She was over it quick. She's like, all right, well, we'll have to continue this another day.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? We're only like 20 minutes in. We got a lot more
I
questions.
think we only got through like the first 5-10 years of this thing, and you've been doing it forever. But yeah, so that's how long. So the league started in '81. It was started by Frank Hawk, Tony Hawk's dad,
and Sonia,
and then
Hoffman.
yeah, yep, and then it kind of went from there.
Yeah, Sonia's the only one left.
Yep.
Rest in peace,
We
Frank.
get
Rest
Tony
in
to be
house.
involved more.
What's that?
Get Tony to be involved more.
Yo, put that in the universe. I mean, we've been pushing for that for a long time.
For sure, yeah.
That would be best case scenario.
I mean, he's a busy guy.
He's a busy guy. I
But
mean, he's talking
You
to
can
Joe
hit him
Rogan.
up for like, hey, dude, the finals. Come to the finals.
Yeah.
come hang out
I
for a
mean,
minute.
Riley skated the castle contest. I remember
Yep.
the first castle contest. I don't know if it was the first one that he skated or the first one that he won was at Irvine. There was a Irvine skate park. That Castle Park or whatever, the Gravity Games.
Not Castle CASL, but Castle CASTLE. The theme, like the mini golf, and they had it was like mini golf and an arcade and a go-kart track, and they had a skate park there. I remember that.
It was the Gravity Games course that they had put there,
Yeah.
and then we had Castle contest there. So anyway,
Castle at Castle.
yeah, Castle at Castle.
Nice.
And then
That was actually a really fun park. I remember that park.
Dude, yeah.
I skated that park a lot.
Yep. But yeah, Tony and Riley, I remember them being there. That was rad.
That's cool.
Yeah. Web trucks too.
Web
Skated
trucks.
for web trucks.
Remember that?
Hell yeah, rest in peace, Vinny Lopez. But yeah,
Yeah.
Riley was like, "Hey, do you skate for web trucks too?" Yeah,
Now he's a grown man.
dude, a grown ass man ripping.
Yep. Well, Deville, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. Is there anything else you want to say to the Castle kids, or anything else you want to throw out there as far as skateboarding's concerned?
Keep ripping. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely,
Hell
dude. Thank
yes.
you for coming on. We really
Like what you
appreciate
guys are
it.
Dude.
doing.
We're glad you
Oh,
survived.
yeah.
We're glad you survived COVID.
We are.
Dude.
Now you can hit me up to see what it's like.
Oh hell no!
No.
I'll take your word for it.
It
but
doesn't sound fun at all.
You definitely need to put that on your resume.
Yeah, man.
Definitely wasn't fun.
Man. That's
Hell yeah.
harsh. All right. Well, I think that's it, kids. Deville, thank you again. We really appreciate you coming on via Skype with us.
Thanks, Deville.
And we are out of here. Daryl.
Hell
All right.
yeah.
That's it for this episode of Clear the Course. Thank you, guys. And we will see you next time.
Late.
Later.
Later, guys.